just posted on Instagram and is now reading her comments. Wow, you are so ugly.
Why would you ever post this?
How do you take yourself seriously?
You should just go die.
Cyberbullying is the use of electronic communication to bully a person, typically by sending messages of intimidating or threatening nature.
Sarah is a victim of cyberbullying.
Here are some facts about cyberbullying. Adolescent girls are just as likely, if not more likely, than boys to experience cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is related to low self-esteem, suicidal thoughts, anger, frustration, and a variety of other emotional and psychological problems. Also, it is related to other issues in the real world, including school problems, antisocial behavior, and substance use.
It wasn't long ago that most people didn't even have a computer in their own homes. Just a generation ago, computers were virtually unheard of, and the internet didn't exist for the average person. Today, computers are in just about every home, as well as most schools, giving kids access to technology they've never had before.
Around half of teens have been the victims of cyberbullying. Only 1 in 10 teens tells a parent if they've been a victim. Fewer than 1 in 5 cyberbullying incidents are reported to law enforcement.
1 in 10 adolescents or teens have had embarrassing or damaging pictures taken of themselves without their permission, often using a cell phone. Over 25% of teens have been bullied repeatedly through text messages.
Over 50% of teens use a cell phone regularly, making the most popular form of technology and common medium for cyberbullying. About half of the young people have experienced some form of cyberbullying, and 10 to 20% experience it regularly. 9 out of 10 LGBTQ teens have experienced harassment at school or on social networking sites.
Chapter 5 is all about how children are affected by the media and their role as a special audience when it comes to the way people interact through the web. Children are treated as a special audience because of their lack of maturation and experience. However, maturation and experience alone do not make someone media literate.
Children are regarded as a special audience mainly because they have not matured enough to be able to actually fully process what all these media messages entail. This lack of maturation makes them extremely vulnerable to all possible negative effects of the media messages. They also have no real experience regarding what society actually has to offer. As kids, they are constantly blocked or guarded by parental figures in order to protect their upbringing. Parents monitor what they see or hear in order to prevent any of these negative effects from happening at an early age.
Potter explains Jean Pigot's types of development through the processes of cognitive development, emotional development, and moral development. Until age 2, children are in the sensor-motor stage where they develop into a pre-operational stage from 2 to 7. Then they progress into the concrete operational stage, and by age 12 they move into the formal operational stage where they have matured cognitively into adulthood. Higher levels of emotional literacy are gained through experience with emotions by paying close attention to our feelings when we interact with media. Gaining more experience, we are more capable of handling our emotions. We are not born with a moral code or sensitivity to what is wrong or right. We must learn as we grow through experience and through watching our parental figures and caretakers interact with others. Potter explains imposed restrictions with questions from the chapter. Were you raised in a household where your media exposure was limited by rules, such as when, how much, which television shows are appropriate to watch? 92% say that they prohibit certain programs. 76% say they require their children to finish their homework or chores before viewing. 69% say they limit the amount of hours their children are allowed to watch television.
Without realizing, media messages have impacted our lives for such a long time, and many of us don't realize it until now. Cyberbullying is an important factor as to why many parents guard their children from being involved in social media institutions such as Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter.
If parents allowed their children to contribute to the mass media institutions at such a young age, it could very well affect their upbringing. People are so inhumane these days, which is why cyberbullying is such a big topic of hurt in today's society. Most of us feel like the real world is too limited, so we journey to the media world to get experiences and information. How it pertains to cyberbullying. If you don't have the most ideal social life, you turn to social media to find one. This could be dangerous because it could lead to self-esteem issues. Also, turning to social media when you miss a social gathering leads to FOMO, fear of missing out. Can also lead to feelings of isolation, which could be dangerous.
Children base their perceptions of reality not on the accuracy of portrayals of information, but on the probability that something could occur in their lives. How does this pertain to cyberbullying, you may ask? Without face-to-face real-world contact, social media messages can be misinterpreted or even over-exaggerated.
Concept of reality: plausibility, typicality, factuality, emotional involvement, narrative consistency, perceptual persuasiveness. In the case of cyberbullying, emotional involvement is the main concept.
Clearly, the issue of reality entails more than making a simple decision about whether something actually happened. People are able to think in terms of degrees of reality. When they are assessing reality, they consider more than one dimension.
The main idea is that the danger of cyberbullying is that there is no end. Traditional bullying can take place at school or in a neighborhood, but it can't consistently follow you home or around. Cyberbullying exists both in the media and the real world. The victim can't escape the torment. Media content and reality explains the blurred line between the media and real world. Cyberbullying is problematic because it exists in the media world, but people take it as reality. Learning how to separate real world and media things can help lessen the impact of cyberbullying.
How do you define cyberbullying?
Cyberbullying is the use of technology to cause physical or emotional distress to an individual.
How do you define cyberbullying?
The use of technology to intimidate or threaten another person.
Have you or anyone you know ever been cyberbullied?
I know of people that have been cyberbullied. I've never done it myself, but it's pretty common, I'd say, in teens, through the use of cell phones and social media.
Have you or anyone you've ever known been cyberbullied?
No, but it is a very common thing, so there may be instances among my friends that I don't know about.
What effect do you think social media has on cyberbullying?
Social media has a very large impact on cyberbullying. I think cyberbullying was created through and from social media.
What effect do you think social media has on cyberbullying?
I think that social media has a very large effect on cyberbullying because the more popular apps become, like Yik Yak and Instagram and Facebook, then the more amounts of cyberbullying there are.
What do you think are some ways we can prevent cyberbullying?
I honestly don't think cyberbullying can be prevented. It's just like this day and age, technology's everywhere. There's no way that that'll ever stop. Kids will always be mean, hiding behind a screen.
What ways do you think we can prevent cyberbullying?
I think that making all profiles on every social media private should be mandatory so that people can only get in contact with people if they're friends.
Please tell us about your experience with cyberbullying.
Well, when I was in middle school, someone tweeted a hateful comment towards me, and it really affected my self-confidence, and I just faked sick for a long time to get out of school, and I didn't feel comfortable around my classmates, and even till this day, the comments still affect me.
What is some advice you have for people still getting cyberbullied today?
I'd say just don't let those people get to you. They're just bullies hiding behind a computer screen. And honestly, learning about media literacy has really helped me cope with my experience, because knowing that that only exists in a social media world and not actual reality has really comforted me.